please start recording everybody. Okay, so object repository is a storage location where complete object related information. Ashim, you can't hear.
Suresh,
Yeah.
can you please wait for 5 minutes? I'm really sorry, just for 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Sirisa.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I don't know, I think I was having some problem.
In the last session, we just discussed about the QTP introduction, right? QTP of parts, right? Recording and run settings, right or not? QTP of parts, right? Everything. So what is the ADIN manager? Did you install QTP software, guys? Guys.
You have to send me the links so then I can do that.
Yeah. Gopal,
Okay.
Gopal, I will take care of it. And guys, reminding us, did you install QTP?
No, sorry.
Did they send some links?
I think they sent me some links, but I have to check that out on my mail, so.
Yeah, I've also downloaded it, yeah, but I haven't on it yet, so.
Okay, just call them after downloaded. Call them, guys. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that today.
Okay, then we can start up the session. Today we are going to discuss about the object repository. Object repository means, observe, it is a storage location. Okay, it is a storage location where complete object related information means properties and values will be stored in object repository. Okay. Complete object related information means properties and values will be stored in object repository. It acts as the interface between application and QTP. Okay, it acts as a interface between application and QTP. Okay, so what is the navigation is, so total navigation in the class notes, each and everything navigation I just provided you, no issue about that. Okay, so go to resources and select object repository, right? Go to resources and select object repository. So how we are going to open means, so here in your system VMware is there, right? Okay, so here power on virtual machine, you need to click on. So how to open this one I am going to explain. Okay. So click on power on virtual machine, or else here startup guest also you can able to click it. Okay, so now this thing will be going on. So here it is coming. Just Control Alt Insert. Okay, there is no password. Directly we can able to click on OK button. So in this situation, I am trying to open QTP. So just click on that QTP, okay? Second, it is coming up, okay? Just a second, please. Admin manager, just click on it. Second, guys, it is opening. So meanwhile, we are going to discuss some theory part about object repository. So object repository means is a storage location where complete object related information, properties and values will be stored in object repository. As an interface between application and QTP. So normally we are saying what is meant with object. For example, if you take Sirisha as an object, so what is the properties and values means? Observe information about the object, we are treating it as a properties and values. For example, here Sirisha is an object, right? Name is one property, right? Sirisha is value, address is property and yours is value, number is like property, number or contact number is value, like that. So like this is what we calling it as a properties and values, right? So information about that particular object, we are calling it as a properties and values, right? So okay, so here we are having two types of object repositories. Okay, so what are those means? First one is as per action object repository, second one is shared object repository. Okay, so what is per action repository, what is shared repository, I will explain you clearly. Okay, so first of all, let me open object repository. What is the navigation for object repository? In the class notes I already mentioned it, right? So go to on object repository. Okay, if object information is there, then only the script will be executed perfectly, guys. Okay, so here, what is the navigation? Go to resources, select object repository, right? Go
Yeah.
to resources. Observe. When we clicked on resources, click on select object repository. Here it is. Click on that one. Object repository. So right now, guys, can you guess, like, is there any information in the object repository? Can you guess? No, right now there is no information. Why? Because if we recorded, then only information is there, right? Good, Aarti. There is no information. Okay. So observe. When we hit the record button, then only object information is stored in the object repository. What actions we are performing in application, that related object information is stored in the object repository. So right now, there is no information, right or not? Right? So observe what happened. I'm trying to record something. Okay, so I hit the record button. Okay, click on OK button. So here I'm going to perform some actions on the application, right? So on that situation, observe what actions we are performing on application. That related object information is stored in object repository. Just observe that object information is automatically stored, right? I'm going to perform Mercury. Click on OK button, right? That object information is stored in object repository. Right? So I'm going to close it. Observe that related information is stored in the object repository finally, right? Then stop the recording. Observe when we are trying to run this script. Okay, when we are trying to run this script, observe on that situation also, it's compulsory by using this only. By using this object repository information only, the script will be executed without any issues, right? So why? Because this object repository acts as an interface between application and QTP. By using this object information, it will be executed perfectly. I just open the application, hit the run button. So just see how it is executed. Just observe. It's enter username, password, click on OK button, right? Close it, right? Everything is executed perfectly, right? So for example, for your understanding purpose, OK button. I'm going to delete the OK button, right? So right now I'm trying to execute this one. Okay, so hit the run button. So just see what happened. Is it executed perfectly, guys? Anyone? Is it executed perfectly? Up to entering username, entering password, up to now is executed perfectly, right? When coming to the OK button, when it is trying to click on OK button, on that time, that OK button object was not found in the object repository, right?
Yes.
OK button object was not found in the object repository, right? So that button is not there in the object repository, so that it will be not executed. Means it's compulsory. If you want to execute anything, it's compulsory that object information is stored in the object repository, right? So, and guys, here observe there is two types of object repositories are there, right? So what are those means? I will explain it clearly. So in this situation, I am removing everything. So I am taking a new test. So observe on that situation, what about the object repository? So object repository, it also just refresh. Okay, I am taking a new test means, so in this situation, it is freshly reopened. So there is right now there is no objects in the repository. Observe, right? So like that it will be refreshed every time. So basically in object repository there are two types of repositories are there. So first one is per action object repository, second one is shared object repository. So what is per action repository? What is shared repository? I will explain you clearly. So per action repository means, like earlier we just discussed, what actions when we hit the record button, right? What actions we are performing on application, that related object information is stored in the object repository. Okay. So Ankita, recordings are there with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can able to practice by seeing the recordings. I'm just
Oh,
starting.
okay.
Okay, so just follow the recordings and practice yourself. What I am teaching you.
Okay.
So right now, per action, we are going to discuss about the per action repository, right? Per action repository means what actions we are going to performing an application that related object information is stored, right? So for example, I am taking a new test. So right now, I am going to hit the record button. Windows application. Okay. So right now, what actions we are performing on application that related object information is stored in object repository. That is, we are calling it as a per action object repository, right? So that is, we are calling it as a per action object repository. Right, I'm going to close it. That object information is stored, right? So simply what action we are performing an application that related object information is stored on there. So then next, when I hit the run button, observe, regarding this information, it will take this information, then the script will be executed fine. That is, we are calling it as a per action object repository. Then the second one is shared object repository. So shared object repository means what? Observe, shared object repository means, here it is. So right now, for future reference, I want to save these objects. Like how means, go to file, export local objects. Okay. So here I want to save. Where I want to save means in a desktop. In a desktop, I want to save it as a, for example, Rupali. Automatically it is saved in .tsr extension. Just okay. So right now in this situation, I am going to write the script manually without recording option. So I am opening a new test. Okay. I am opening a new test. Right now, if I open new test, there is no information, right? So here I am going to write the VB script manually. In future, we will let you know how to write the VB script manually. Okay. So in this situation where I am trying to hit the run button, is it executed, guys? When I'm trying to hit the run button, is it executed?
No,
No. Why? No. Why?
because there is nothing in the object repository.
Exactly. Okay. So
Yeah.
without any information in the object repository, it will never works. I clearly mentioned. So in this situation, I want to pass the object repository information. How means in earlier we already saved repository, right? For future reference, I'm going to save this one like that. I just say, right? So means earlier we are already saved that repository. I'm going to call here. How means go to resources, associate repositories, guys. All the navigation I just provided in the class notes. Here it is. Go to resources, select associate repositories, everything I just provided. So this is associate repositories. So here plus symbol is there, right? So this is means add repository. Just click on plus symbol. So earlier we just saved, right? So in a desktop, right? In a desktop, properly, right? Just
Yes.
open that one. Okay. So here associated action. Click on arrow and click on OK, right? So that information is coming out there, right or no? So right now, when we hit the run button, it will be executed perfect. Hit the run button. Just see here. Right now it is executed perfectly, right or no? So like that we can able to associate shared repositories. Observe total navigation. Click the plus symbol, add the desired file you want. Click on OK. Like so, total navigation I just mentioned out there. Okay. So next we are going to discuss about the overview of object repository. So overview of yeah.
What's the difference between object repository and the associate repositories?
Object repository means whatever the actions we are performing on application. Okay. So automatically it is shared. Object repository means associate means we are associating from external files. Okay,
Oh,
means,
okay.
so right now we are writing the VB script manually, right? Right now
Uh-huh.
there is no information in object repository. What from external file? In earlier we are already saved these object repository files. Same files only we are getting from external source. We are doing, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is what we call as object repository. And here overview of object repository means in this object repository we can add the objects, we can delete the objects, and we can rename the object.
So
So
we can add those objects also which are not in the application, like
that's
which are
how
not there.
we can able to add it.
We can add it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Okay, instead of associating, we can able to add the object. That's our wish. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So how to add the objects means go to objects, add objects to local, right? So here I want to add. So right now cancel and help button is not there. So I want to add cancel and help button. With that hand icon, click on cancel button. So click on OK button. So it will be added.
Oh,
Right?
okay. And if the application doesn't have like some button and we want to add it, then we cannot add it, right?
Application didn't have any information means where we don't need to perform anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what.
Mm-hmm.
And I can click on help button. So help button is also added, right? Like that we can able to add the objects. And
So-
we can read.
So like these only objects will be added and no other object like from external, not in the application. The objects that are not in the application.
Not going to be added, na.
Yeah.
Only within the application, what objects are there, those objects only can able to add it. So what is the use of other objects? The objects which we are not present in the application, what is the use of those one? So we are only performing actions on these objects only, right or not, guys?
Yeah.
These information only we required. So whatever, everything we can able to add it, you know. So instead of that one, go to objects, add objects to local. If with this hand icon, if we click on title, under the title, how many objects are there? We can able to capture all the objects, right? Click on OK button. So here it is asking me the options. Or if you want to all objects type means, if you click on that one, click on OK means, under this login parent, what are the objects are there, like agent name, password, click cancel, help, okay, everything will be added if you click on OK button. Here it is, all the things are going to be added like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like that.
So like
Clarity?
as it is the whole login, that application,
Yes.
everything that it consists of will be added by that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we can rename the objects also. Right click and rename it. We can rename it also.
So then it will be renamed in the application too?
No. The application, those are called runtime objects. In coming concept we are explaining. Those are never changed. In runtime objects we cannot change. In application we cannot change anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So for example, cancel is
So
there.
like if there is an error of adding a button or removing a button, that would be taken up by the developer, right?
Yes,
And not
exactly.
us.
In application, if there is any changes, means that is undertaken by the developer only.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we just
So
need to
earlier-
work on the application that has already been made by the developer.
Yes.
Okay.
So here earlier cancel is there. Now I'm going to like rename it as a close, right? So observe, rename, close, enter, right? And observe, it will be added, right? So right now here, if you want to delete this one, you can able to delete it. If you want to add, you can able to add it. I already explained, right? That is what about overview of object repository. Here it is. You can able to add the objects, delete the objects, and rename the objects.
Yeah.
So like that, work will be processed. Okay.
Huh?
The next we are going to discuss about the object identification. Okay. Object identification. So observe, object identification works based on a 4 properties and 1 ordinal filter. Okay, so how the work will be processed, everything I will explain you clearly. Okay, guys. Object identification. So object identification will work based on 4 properties and values. What are those means? Mandatory properties, assistive, base filter, optional filter, right? So guys, Ashim and Gaurav, are you okay? You are not responding me anyway.
Oh yeah, we are good.
Yeah, we're good.
Following me, right? So
Yeah.
type properties. Like mandatory properties, assistive properties, base filter, and optional filter, right? So here observe mandatory properties and assistive properties. Meanwhile, before going to discuss about this concept, I am going to explain you one general example. Okay. So for example, here my task is you guys are trying to identify the exact QA trainer called Sirisha. Okay, if you want to identify the exact QA trainer called Sirisha, you need some information about Sirisha, right or not? Okay, so right now you're having some information about name and address. Okay, so regarding QA trainer called Sirisha, you're having some information like name and address. So by using this information, you are trying to find out the exact object. Okay, so unfortunately, by using the same name and address, you are identified 4 persons. These 4 persons are having same name and address, right? So guys, in this situation, did you identify the exact object called QA trainer called Sirisha? In this situation, did you identify the exact person, Sirisha QA trainer? No, you just filtered 4 persons, right? You just filtered 4 persons. In this, you didn't identify the exact person. So if you want to identify the exact person, you need some more information about Sirisha, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So observe contact number. Okay, so by using this name, address, and contact number, right, you are trying to identify the exact persons. But unfortunately, just assume these 3 persons are having same name, address, and same contact number too. Just assume, guys. Okay, so in this situation also, you didn't identify the exact QA trainer called Sirisha, right or not? So
Yeah.
if you want to identify the exact QA trainer called Sirisha, okay, you need some more information, some extra, right? So that you just take a fax number, right? By using name, address, and contact number and fax number, you are trying to identify the exact QA trainer called Sirisha, right? So in this also, you just filter 2 persons. These 2 persons, unfortunately, these 2 persons are having same name, address, and contact number and fax number too, right? So in these 2 persons, you are trying to identify the exact. So optionally, finally, you are taking a picture. So by using this picture, like means name, address, and contact number and fax number and picture. By using these, where you are trying to identify the object. So that is called, here it is, this one. You just identify this person as a QA trainer called Sirisha, right? So just assume these are mandatory properties. Okay, this is assistive properties, base filter properties, and optional filter properties, right? So initially, what properties you are taking? Mandatory. After that,
Okay.
assistive, base filter, optional filter. By using these 4 properties, you are trying to identify the object, right?
Yes.
So, basically, there are 2 ways to identify the objects: normal identification and smart identification. So, what is normal identification? What is smart identification? Means, observe. You are trying to identify the object by using mandatory properties. It's not enough, right? So then you can go ahead with the mandatory properties and assistive properties. Just assume, guys, these 2 properties are enough to identify the object. Okay, these 2 properties are enough to identify the object. Okay, so that is, we are calling it as these 2 properties are enough to identify the object. So that is, we are calling it as a normal identification, right?
Yeah.
These 2 properties are enough to identify the object. That is called normal identification. If in case, in this situation, these 2 properties are not enough, right? So then we can go ahead with the base filter properties and optional, right? So by using these 4 properties, you are trying to identify the object. That is called smart identification, right? That's called smart identification. So here, what is the navigation for this is go to tools, object identification. Go to tools, object identification. So here, initially we are trying to identify the object by using manager and assistant. So if these two are not enough, then here it is enable. Click the check marks, enable smart identification, click on configure, right? So here it is base filter and option filter, right? By using these 4 properties, you are trying to identify the object, that is called smart identification, right? So in these, there are 2 types of objects are there, guys. Okay, so first one is real-time objects, runtime objects. Second one is test objects. So what is runtime objects? What is test objects means? Observe. In the application, we are having some objects, right? So for example, flight application is there, right? So in application, we are having some objects like agent name, password, everything we are treating it as an object, right? The application itself, we are treating it as a one object, right? So like text boxes, buttons, text fields, everything we are treating it as an object. The application we are having objects, that objects we are calling it as a runtime objects. We cannot change these objects. Okay, those objects we are calling it as a runtime objects. We cannot change it. And another thing, the application that object having objects, right? This is object repository. We're having some objects. These objects we are calling as a test objects. We can able to change it. So if you want to delete it, you can able to delete it. If you want to rename it, you can able to rename it. Okay, if you want to earlier just delete, rename, add it, anything you can able to do it, right? So that is what about we are calling it as a test objects. Clear it is?
Yeah.
Like that, work will be processed. Okay, so observe runtime objects and test objects. Runtime objects means these objects are provided in the application are called runtime objects. These objects we cannot change, right? Application we cannot able to change it, right? Whereas developers can able to do it, right? We cannot able to do the changes. And test objects means these objects are provided in the object repository. These objects we can change it, right? So like this work will be processed. Clear it is? Clear it is, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next, this is what about object repository. Good, everybody. Next, object spy. Object spy means observe. It is one handy feature provided by the QTP, which is used for showing one object related complete properties and values. Okay, which is used for showing one object related complete properties and values. Okay, so what is the navigation is go to tools object spy. So all the navigation I already explained you, all the navigation I just mentioned in a thing, right? So go to tools object spy, right? So for example, here you are trying to identify the object, right? So I want to display the one object related complete properties and values, right? So how means by using this object spy. Hand icon is there, right? So just click on hand icon. With this hand icon, okay, which object properties and values you want to mention. You're just able to click on that one. So let me know which object information you want. Just select anyone. Just select anyone. So for example, I am trying to OK button related complete property values, right? So with the hand icon, just click on OK button. Just observe. Observe. OK button complete properties and values are coming up, right? OK button complete properties and values are coming like that. If you want to display the one property related, one object related complete properties and values, then we can go ahead with this option. Okay. So same thing. So I'm trying to display this agent name related information. Just click on that one. These are the agent name related complete properties and values. Like that. If you want to open the one of the related complete properties and values, you can able to do it. Clear it is, guys?
Yeah.
So that is what about object repository. So, can you do it? Can you try to identify? Do you want me to give controls? Are you trying to identify? Let me know. Then I will give you controls. I think no one is interested. So this is what about object spy. Clear it is, guys? So then we are entering into the QTP life cycle. So here it is also total it is divided into 6 parts. Okay, so total it is divided into 6 parts. So what are those? How the work will be processed? I will explain you here. So observe here. First one, QTP of life cycle. So it contains total 6 different phases, right? So it contains 6 different phases. Like what are those? How the work will be processed? I will explain you. First one is test plan phase. Test plan means we know already. Test plan means what? It's a strategic document or narrowly defined document which describes how to test the project in an effective way to provide the quality project to client. Right? It is a strategic document or narrowly defined document which describes the how to test the project effective way to provide the quality project to client. Actually, test lead will prepare this document. Okay, test lead will going to prepare this one. So what are the steps means? Observe. First of all, understanding the requirements by the test lead. Okay, so first of all we have to understand the requirement by the test lead and identifying which module need to be automated and analyzing the flow of the module and preparing tool to ready. For example, I will explain each and everything. Understanding the requirement by the lead means, for example, lead will give some, I already explained it. If you go to the any project, it must undergo manual first, right? I think I already explained it, right? So if you take any project, it must undergo manual first. Then only QTP is introduced, right? Okay, in middle, due to regression or retesting, then only QTP is coming up. So in this situation, just observe. In middle only QTP is coming up, right? So in this situation, right, QTP is introduced, right? So they are giving one requirement. So just perform it with QTP like that. So check the update order and perform it with QTP like that. They are giving some task. First, we need to understand the requirement by the test lead. What is the requirement? First, we have to understand the requirement. So the next, okay, after that, analyze the flow of the module. Like understand the requirement by the test lead and identifying which module need to be automated. So we have to identify which module we are going to automate. So update automate. So in this object there is no, right? So when we trying to perform, so observe in this situation. So here it is update order means this module will need to be automated, right? Then next, analyze the flow of the module. Analyze the flow of the module means here actually update order is not enabled. How to make them as enabled means we have to analyze the flow, right? If you know the flow, then only we can enable it. First, if you open the any order, then only update order is enabled, right? Here it is. Update order is enabled, right? There, analyze the flow of the flow. Next, preparing tool to ready with all pre-configurational settings for further operations. Okay, so we are preparing tool to ready with pre-configurational settings for further operations. So how the work will be processed means observe. Pre-configuration settings means go to file settings, click on settings. Okay. So here run. If you go to the run, when error occurs during run session, what information you want? You want a pop-up message box or proceed to the next action or stop run or proceed to the next step? Which one you want? So you are going to mention it out there, right? So I want a pop-up message only. Depending upon your wish, you are going to select it. I want pop-up message. And execution synchronization timeout. So another concept is there in regarding synchronization timeout. So what is the synchronization timeout? You are going to mention it like so 2 seconds to execute the script. How many seconds you want? Synchronization timeout means to execute the script. How many seconds you want? Like that he is asking, right? So yeah, we just explained like 20 seconds or 2 seconds. Okay, that is decided by the management people. Okay, so test FRS plan, test plan. So it is given up how many seconds it will take to execute like that. Okay, click apply and okay, right? The next, preparing tool ready with all pre-configuration settings, everything, right? And the next step is generate the basic script. So we are going to be generate the basic script. Right now I'm taking a new one, new test. So just now we just started, right? QTP. So we are doing this particular application. We are just started a application QTP, automation testing. So initially what we are doing is initially just hit the record button, just generate some basic script. So we have script is generated or everything is fine or not, we are going to be, that's what, right? So right now I'm going to generate a basic script, right? I'm entering user ID and password, click on OK. Like that I'm going to generate some script. Right, some basic script I just generated. Next concept is enhancing the script. Enhancing the script means, observe, basic script will be enhanced based on a task provided. Okay, so in this automation testers will generate the basic script by using record and run button. That is generate the basic script. Enhancing the script means basic script will be enhanced based on a task provided. So based on a condition, based on a task, okay, basic script will be enhanced. Actually, there are different enhancements are there. Okay, actually there are different enhancements are there. So what are those? I will explain you clearly. Okay, guys. So in tomorrow's session we are going to discuss like inserting checkpoints, output values, different enhancements are there, right? So tomorrow class we are going to discuss about these enhancements. There, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow also same time, like 9:30 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. Is it okay, guys? Only tomorrow. Okay. After. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody is okay with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Right now I'm saying not bad.
Yes, Teresa, I had a question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, when we talk when we call the tech guys and when they when they download all the files, so we also need an application file to learn, right? Like you have your application file over there called Flight. So will we be also having that file,
Yes.
that application?
Yes, it is having.
Okay, so we'll be having that, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Sirisha?
Yeah, I will do it, Rupali.
No. I just wanted to let you know because everybody is using Windows. I'm using MacBook Pro, so would that
Anything,
mean?
no issue.
Okay, no issues, right? Do I need to give you what I have?
No issue.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So just I'm sending some links, okay?
Okay.
Just download those links and let.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
See you guys tomorrow.
Okay then. Thank you so much. Same time, guys. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye. And Gaurav.